Good morning, you guys. Happy Wednesday. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about how you can plan a peaceful holiday season. And as we are ending 2025, there is a lot going on, and there's so many different mixed environments and experiences going on that a lot of us moms are dealing with. And especially whether you are in the process of building your business, gearing up for Black Friday and all of those things, or you are in a slower season. We're going to talk about all of those things, and that way you can focus more on being present instead of being stressed and overwhelmed. So, if that is something that you want to talk about today, I'm so excited to have you on the call. My name is Apollonia Cross. I am a lifestyle and wellness coach who loves helping mompreneurs learn how to create a self-care plan that is in alignment with their goals, values, and family lifestyle. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. And as I'm going over these topics, let me know where you are at in the world. Drop a heart or a like in the comments below. And so that way I can connect with you all, whether that is now on the live or on the replay. Either way, I'd love to connect with each and every single one of you guys. All right. So, one of the very first things, and as you can see, I have my tea right here, and I got my Girl Boss mug that I got from a friend. And on the inside of it, it says, "Just a girl with goals." This is one of my favorite mugs that I got years ago. It has, for those of my planner girls, you guys know who this is. This is from a the Wrong um, collection of stickers. And for those of you guys aren't familiar with that, it's okay. You can Google this, right? But one of my favorite mugs, and I got my vanilla spice yogi tea in here. So excited to be doing this and having my cup of tea to help me kind of relax. Again, in alignment with planning and peace, right? All right, you guys. So, one of the very first things that I want to talk about with planning and peace, and for the holiday season, let's address some of these issues that we've got going on, especially right now with the state of just what's going on with the world, what could be possibly going on in your business and home and family. There is a lot going on. So, this is where you have to say, okay, hold on a minute, pump the brakes, let's slow some things down, right? And this is where, like, if I want to make sure that I'm operating more in a peaceful, intentional mode, then I need to make sure that I have a plan, right? So, very first thing, peace starts with having a plan. Okay. And there we go. So, peace starts with having a plan in place. Now, I'm not going to tell you, like, obviously, having a plan could potentially, it's going to go all picture perfect. No, but having a plan in place for your holiday season that includes your self care, that includes the kids' schedule, and also any home and family events and all of those things in place, and things for your business and all of those things, it's going to help things along a lot more smoothly. This way, you are operating in and with intention and purpose instead of constantly being in reactivity mode, right? Once we're in reactivity mode, we can get very overwhelmed, we can get very stressed. And so we don't want to operate that way. And once we can also start to kind of be messing up things and then getting more upset. That's when we're getting mad at the kids, getting mad at our husbands, getting upset and frustrated with tech during, a launch, or when we're trying to create products or ship out, right? There's going to be a lot of things. So having a plan in place that will allow you to be able to operate more with intention and purpose instead of constantly just reacting to whatever is happening, it's at least going to give you a better structure and idea of what you want to work on. Okay. And that way you can be able to be, like I said, more intentional and purposeful that way. All right. So here's a couple of tips that I wanted to share with you guys so that way you can go ahead and plan. So one of the very first things you want to do is make sure that you are being aware of what season of life and business you are in. And whether you are e-commerce or you are in a coaching, counseling, or service-based business like I am, or you have a combination of both, or you might be in the corporate space. Either way it goes, as well as that's just business and career, right? Let's also talk about what season of life that you're in your mom journey, right? You may have littles at home. You may have teenagers at home. You may be in the midst of college applications. You may be in the midst of barely fighting to get sleep and stuff. Depending on the stage of motherhood that you're in, a lot of things are going to vary, right? So be very honest with yourself and identify what season of life you are presently in, as well as what season of life your business are you in. Are you in a building season with your business to where that is what you're focused on, are the things that are going to move the needle forward, that's going to allow you to hit your goals, right? We're in the thick of holiday season. So if you have an e-commerce business or a store-based business, or you are in and working for a company that this is the high season, like for example, retail. Like if this is where you're working at, then this is peak season for you. It's going to be very, very busy. So making sure that you get any and every single thing in place for yourself, so that way you are not having to worry about things kind of just completely falling apart, and always getting things at the go and as it comes. This is that moment where you want to really think about that, right? So and I'll probably do a deeper video on this topic, but I want to just kind of share this little tip. There's like 5 different seasons that you could potentially be in. You could be in a building season, right? Where you're working on climbing up and moving the needle forward. You could be in a growing season where you're trying to focus on expanding. You might be trying to learn a lot. You might be trying to also probably set some more boundaries where you're learning how to step into yourself again, and right, expanding your voice, trying new things, right? That's growing. You could be in a healing season. You could be coming out of a very difficult season, just had your baby, you're going through a lot, and you are trying to be like, okay, all right, extending yourself grace, learning how to pause and reflect and not be so stressed and overwhelmed, right? Or you could be in a slow season in your business to where you're not necessarily so worried about trying to meet your KPIs and all of those things at the end of the year, business-wise, and you're more focused on trying to get yourself ready for the upcoming year. Or you could be in, like what we've been talking about, that really busy season. But the very question for yourself is, you need to identify what season of your life and business you're in. And so this way you can actually create a plan in alignment with that. Okay. And I see a lot of you guys coming on the live. So again, my name is Apollonia Cross. I'm a lifestyle and wellness coach. And so I'm so excited to have you guys on. Make sure you drop me a hi in the comments below. Let me know where you're at in the world so I can talk with you, connect with you. And so we've already talked about making sure that you start with a plan for the holiday season, so that with the intention of it being a lot more peaceful. As we know, life happens, things get crazy sometimes, but again, having a plan in place allows you to have a lot of things go up more smoother, okay? And then we talked about identifying what season of life you could be presently in your motherhood journey, your business and your self-care journey, because it all goes in together. So we got to make sure we know where we're at before we can figure out where we're going, right? And then also the next thing that I want to talk about is choosing to be more intentional over being perfect, right? So I'll keep this up here just so that way it gives you that opportunity. But why I want to make sure I really pause on this is choosing to be more intentional is because as us moms, as the nurturers and the givers, right? And also this is the most wonderful time of the year. This is a joyous season, right? Which is supposed to be. We can get very carried away in wanting to bring all of the holiday joy, all of the decorations, food, doing all the fun experiences that only come around once a year, right? Like we can go ham and want to do it all. But I really want to encourage you, if choosing to have a peaceful holiday season is more of your priority and your focus, I highly encourage you to choose to be more intentional with what you will do as well as what you will not do. Because otherwise, if you try to do all of the things, you are going to get very overwhelmed. You will be disappointed because you can't do it all. And then, especially if you have your kids, it can be a little frustrating. The kids don't, the kids will be disappointed, and then you're going to deal with the whining and crying that way. And we haven't even addressed all of the holiday concerts, all of the activities and stuff that the school wants to do alone, right? If you have your kids in school, or you may be a homeschool mom, right? Like it can get a lot. It can get a lot. And that's okay. And I love that for you. And for myself, I love to do all the things. I want to have fun. I want to create a great experience and all of these memories. But let's pump those brakes again, okay? Choosing to be more intentional instead of trying to do and be all of the things, okay? All right. And so again, I see, guys, I want to say hi to a few of you who are on the live. I see a couple of you guys. Hi, Paul. Hi, the Red Boy. Hi, Josiah. All right. And hi. And then the question is that your real voice? That's funny. Yes, this is my real voice. And yes, this is really me. This is a live video. It's not AI, right? It's a real person. So, all right. And now, last but not least, let's go into our final topic, right? Focusing on presence over presence, right? In the climate of what is currently going on in the world, there are some people, quite a bit of people who may not necessarily be having the most joyous time of the year, whether that be due to financial reasons, whether that may be due to issues or things going on in home business, all of those types of things, right? And this is that time of the year where a lot of people may want to go, you might want to get a bunch of presents. You're going to be bombarded with all of those things. Remember, the greatest gift that you can ever give someone is your presence. Being present for someone in this time of year is the greatest gift that you can have and to give someone, right? Because sometimes when we're giving a lot of gifts, there can be some guilt that comes in from another person, or you might be in a season to where you may be struggling just a little bit and you're kind of feeling as you're creating a gift list, right? Maybe I can't, maybe I have to cut back on these gifts this year. Maybe I have to be more mindful with something else. Whatever that might be for you, I just want to give you a little bit of encouragement and remind you that it is more important than talking about in all of the presents that you guys are going to buy on Amazon, all of the presents you're going to buy in the store, what have you. Choose to prioritize more presence and involvement, especially around this time of year, that you can do with your family in the communities that you might be involved, right? Spread a little bit of the holiday joy with someone else. And you'd be surprised at how much that would actually give you a lot of peace and joy, is being able to give back to somebody else in need, right? And so again, those are my tips that I have for you in planning a peaceful holiday season. So I hope these gave you some encouragement. Also hope it gave you a little bit of some ideas on things that you can do for yourself as well. That way you can, again, focus more on being more intentional this holiday season and get yourself ready. If you're not trying to get ready just for preparing yourself in this present holiday season, maybe you might be using this time to prioritize getting everything that you need to do for the next year. So this way you can enjoy and be a lot more peaceful for your family and more intentional in your business as well. So either way, with whichever season and of life and business you are in, I wanted to give you some encouragement as well as send you off with a few tips for today. All right. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me on the live. I hope you guys found this video very helpful and encouraging. And if you are someone who is looking to figure out how to create a better self-care and wellness plan for yourself, and you have no idea where to start, I want to encourage you to consider booking a wellness strategy call with me. All right. I will make sure to post the link down in the description of the video. And that way you can go ahead and book that call with me and we can figure out a plan together to help you learn how to move with intention and purpose. And so that way you can thrive in your life and your family and business. All right. So again, thanks for hanging out with me. My name is Apollonia Cross, lifestyle and wellness coach, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye.